The morning broke grey. A thin mist wrapped around the rooftops, blurring the lines between cloud and ground. Kai hadn't slept much. Every time he closed his eyes, he heard the same whisper, a classroom door creaking open, the echo of a voice calling his name. When he finally rose, the floorboards under his feet felt colder than he remembered. The key from last night still sat on the table, rusted. Room 13, HHS. He traced the letters again, just to be sure he hadn't imagined them. Kai stepped outside. The street looked the same as before, lifeless, quiet, too clean in some places and too broken in others. No sound of cars, no footsteps, not even the hum of distant conversation. Only the faint metallic ringing of wind chimes from somewhere unseen. At the end of the street stood the place where the Okada barbershop sign once hung. The windows were boarded. A for sale sign lay on the ground, half buried in mud. Across from it stood the house that used to belong to his family, or at least it should have. But something had changed overnight. The nameplate that once read Takeda Family Residence was gone. Not just removed, erased, as though it had never existed. The spot where the metal plate should have been was clean, the walls smoother than the rest, freshly painted. Someone had been here. Kai turned toward the small house next door, the old Yamamoto residence. He remembered playing outside with their son when they were children. He knocked on the door. A moment later, it opened slightly. A middle-aged woman with soft eyes and streaks of grey in her hair looked out.
Good morning. Sorry to bother you. I used to live next door. The Takeda house.
The Takeda house? I'm sorry, I don't think anyone by that name ever lived there.
You must be mistaken. I grew up there. My mother.
She shook her head gently.
That house has been empty as long as I can remember. At least 20 years, maybe more. Are you sure you have the right street?
I'm sure. I still have the key.
The key?
To the front door,
he said, holding it up. She leaned closer, eyes narrowing.
That doesn't belong here, sir. I've lived in this neighborhood all my life. That house has always been empty. No one ever had a key.
Her voice was calm but firm. Kai could feel a wall rising between them. Not anger, but something heavier. Fear.
Thank you anyway.
He turned to leave.
Wait, you shouldn't go inside.
Why not?
Because strange things happen there. People hear voices. The air feels wrong. The last man who tried to clean it up, he disappeared.
Kai turned back toward the house. The windows reflected the cloudy sky, but faintly, as if coated with dust from another world.
Did you know his name?
No one remembers.
The door to Kai's old house creaked open easily. Inside, the smell of damp wood and earth lingered stronger than yesterday. The footprints he left last night were gone.
Mom?
Only silence replied. He explored the rooms again, slower this time. The wallpaper peeled in thin layers, curling like old parchment. On the floor near the kitchen, he noticed something new, a small photo frame, half buried under dust. He picked it up. The glass was cracked. Inside, the image was faded, water-damaged, but he could make out the outline of a boy, himself, standing in front of this same house, holding a paper lantern. He turned it over. The back was blank. No date, no name, nothing. There was no proof left. No family photos, no documents, not even a letter. The entire house was like a stage set after the actors had gone. A sound came from upstairs, a slow dragging like something heavy moving across the floor.
Hello?
No answer. He walked up the stairs again, heart pounding. The mirror at the top was gone. Only the frame remained, empty, nailed to the wall. The hallway was darker than before, though the window was open.
Is someone there?
From the far end of the hallway came a voice, faint, feminine, and steady.
You shouldn't have come back.
Who's there?
The door at the end of the hall creaked. A figure stood behind the glass, not clear, just a silhouette.
I used to live here. This is my house.
No, this house doesn't belong to anyone. Not anymore.
Who are you?
Someone who remembers.
The door clicked open slightly, then stopped, as if something held it from behind. Kai hesitated, then pushed. The room was empty. Only a thin curtain fluttered near the broken window. The air was cold, metallic. On the floor lay something impossible. A small wooden sign, freshly painted, with his family name Takeda scrawled across it. Wet paint dripped down the edges. He reached for it, but the moment his fingers touched the surface, the paint began to fade, the letters dissolving into wood grain like ink on wet paper. Within seconds, the name was gone again. The whisper returned. This time he could almost make out words.
No past, no proof, no echo.
It came from everywhere and nowhere. The walls, the ceiling, the floor. He backed away, stumbled, and the wooden board cracked beneath him. He caught himself on the doorframe. His hand brushed against something cold, a nail protruding slightly from the wall. Tied to it was a thin strip of paper. He pulled it free. It read,
If you find this place, don't remember.
The sound of footsteps came from downstairs. Slow, uneven.
Hello?
Nothing. Then a shadow crossed the light under the door. He held his breath.
Who's there?
The steps stopped. A faint creak followed, like someone leaning against the bottom stair.
Mom?
The silence that followed felt alive. Then a whisper.
Go back to the station,
Why?
because you're not supposed to be here.
Who are you?
No answer. Only the sound of the front door slamming shut. Kai ran down the stairs. The living room was empty, but the air had changed, colder, denser. The window panes rattled though the wind had stopped. The photo frame he'd found earlier was gone. On the table lay something new, a train ticket. It was old, the paper yellowed, but he recognized the station name. Hinode. The destination was missing. He turned it over and froze. On the back, in faded ink, were words he knew by heart. His mother's handwriting.
If you ever come back, don't stay past nightfall.
The house groaned as if in pain. Dust fell from the ceiling. The floorboards creaked again, but this time he could hear two sets of footsteps. His and someone else's, matching every step. He bolted for the door, pulling it open just as thunder rolled overhead. Rain poured outside, blurring the world into grey motion. He didn't look back. He couldn't. Halfway down the street, he stopped to catch his breath. The lights of the town flickered again, street lamps buzzing, going dark one by one, until only his house remained lit in the distance. Then, that light too faded, swallowed by the storm. He clutched the ticket in his hand. The ink had smeared, but he could still read one faint word where the destination should have been.
Home.
But the strangest part, he couldn't remember where that was anymore. He started walking back toward the station. Rain soaked through his clothes, but he didn't care. The whole town felt alive now, breathing, shifting, remembering. Windows flickered with shapes he couldn't quite see. When he reached the crossing near the bridge, he stopped. The signal lights blinked red, though no train was coming. He waited anyway, watching the rain bounce off the metal tracks. Somewhere, a bell rang. Once, twice, then silence. In the distance, he thought he saw a flicker of light, the outline of a train, its windows glowing faintly, waiting just beyond the fog.
Maybe this time, it'll take me where I belong.
The fog closed in, and for the briefest second, he thought he heard a voice from the direction of the house.
Room 13. Find what we left behind.
Then, everything went still. Only the sound of rain, only the echo of what never was. Only the feeling that the past wasn't gone, it was waiting. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to EchoMind Archives. Your support keeps the echoes alive. Don't miss episode 3, Voices in the Rain. A younger self still calling, where Kai faces the sound that remembers him, even when he cannot remember himself.